Annyeonghaseyo, konnichiwa, and namaste. I hope you're doing well, because I am. And today, I've got a special video, because I'm going to give you a tour of my sketchbook, which kind of rekindled my passion for drawing. Before this, I'd only kind of drawn every now and then without really taking it too seriously, mainly copying off of things that I thought were cool. So, as of summer last year, like end of summer, I started to work on the sketchbook, which I got gifted. Shout out to the person who gifted me this. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So, this right here is a centipede, and as you can see, it's faded quite a bit. All of it was like this shade, but it's been here for quite some time, so that's why it faded. And over here, I actually spilled some coffee one time I was drawing, but thankfully it only reached like this part. So my mug was like on the left, and I was gonna grab something and I knocked it over. But thankfully, none of the drawings really got hurt. Anyway, so that's my first drawing. Then we got a dragon. And I've been making a list of what kind of tattoos I want to get. And I think a centipede and a dragon are definitely high up there. There's gonna be some more designs that I'll show you that are definitely also want to get. And most of these images that are in the sketchbook are just references from Pinterest or Instagram. We got a cross. I'm not really religious, but I've always seen like cool cross designs, and I took this one for inspo and tried to do some symmetry, but it's really tough and I still struggle with it. Usually it's like, in this case, for example, like the spike, the angle, I just seem to never get it exactly of the counterpart. So as you can see, these two are pretty different. These two are almost similar, but I was kind of lazy on the shading. And this background is just freehand, which I've also been practicing a lot, because it's fun. I enjoy especially doing freehand, just seeing what's gonna come to life. This one I was was practicing some flowers, and as you can tell, my sense of three dimension is not really a thing, but this was only gonna be a 2D drawing anyway, so got some roots and some sigilism. And yeah, this one I just found neat, really, at the time. And you're gonna see a lot of torn out pages. This is because I'm currently working on a portfolio, so that hopefully one day I'll be a tattoo apprentice. But I'll definitely have to practice a lot more. So here we have the first drawing with the date, and it says 21st of October. So at this time I was probably drawing more or less frequently for about 2 months maybe, and I was practicing a lot of peonies and just really started getting more into flowers, and of course some patterns just for decoration. But yeah, my shading was kind of chaotic, and I also tried some lettering, which is also, it looks easier than it really is. But let me read this poem for you. And I'll meet you in my dreams, somewhere only the two of us know, in the meadows beyond the stream, where the wild peonies grow. So originally this poem said, wild roses grow, but I was like, well, since there's a peony, I might as well change it. But yeah, I've been slowly, trying to practice a specific thing, and then trying to turn it into a design. That was my mindset at this time. Here I just did some practice in flower and my shading again. It's terrific, but it's not the worst. This was also another reference, and yeah, now I can just see all of the inconsistent line work here or with this one, but nonetheless I was quite pleased with how this turned out. So yeah, got a spider web, and I said I've been putting together my tattoo list, and the spider web is definitely also one of the things I want to get. And here we have a skeleton, emerging from floral things, or plants. And I did the missing was the shading. And I really kind of didn't feel like it, so I just left it like that. This was also another reference. Then we got a blank page. And then we got some more. I don't even know what to call this, but it's just like a pattern. And with this one, I really tried to get like nice curves, which was quite difficult at the time because, well, I was like pretty new, so you can see like these curves are kind of more chopped. They're not like clean. But, you know, sometimes you want more like that style, and sometimes you want like a softer style. So, it's just useful to know how to do both so that you can do what comes to mind. After that, I started watching some YouTube tutorials. This one, I think the channel's called Tattoo Do. And there's a skull tutorial that I followed for like a couple days. And I drew a couple of skulls. And this is the product of it. So we got skull number 1. Skull number 2. This one actually was supposed to be like a self-portrait for my 23rd birthday. So I gave him a little top hat and a fly because I thought it was fitting. And I quite like this one, except for the teeth. Then we got this kind of 2 skulls and like some foliage. Don't worry, this is like the sketchbook that I had before this, and I'll go through it once we're done with this one. And then you can kind of see my beginnings. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, this is another reference. Then we got some more skull practice. I tried incorporating the skull with like some details. We got some kind of parts of the Caribbean vibe going on here. And just another skull study. With these, the toughest part was getting like the chin or the jaw to be symmetrical, and the nose, for some reason, I always kind of struggle with it, even though it's just 2 holes. Then I practiced another skull, but originally I wasn't really going to make a whole drawing out of it. I was just going to leave this skull, and then I was like, maybe I should do a drawing out of it. And so I added like this kind of statue pole, which made it kind of look like if it was like a altar, or like they were about to do a ritual. And there's like 2 people who live in this mountain. But yeah, that was like one of my first actual like drawings at that time. And then I started to think about nice hand tattoo. Or you could also put it on your deltoid or shoulder. And yeah, this is like a pointillism galaxy, which I could have definitely added a lot more dots to. But yeah, I like this design a lot. Then we got some more flowers, but I kind of messed up the perspective on this one. Other than that, the rest looks pretty decent. Maybe this one could need some more work. But yeah, I like this one because it's got like all these kind of developing florets. And I thought that looked pretty nice. And it's just like all on this twig. I was just trying to practice my freehand, and I had difficulty like really understanding how to fill like bigger white spaces with detail. And this is like the origins where I first started to practice that. Obviously this looks kind of, I don't know, I feel like it could have been done a lot better, but you gotta start somewhere, and this is where I started, as you can see. So a lot of the things that I put into my sketchbook, I always think, oh, I could have done that a lot better, or this a lot better. But at least, like, if I have that thought, then I know what to do better. And that's like the whole reason why I'm doing it in the first place, to get better. So I made like I don't know, it's like an X with another X, and I only filled it to the half because what I usually do is just mirror this side on the other, and then it's perfectly symmetrical, which is quite lazy, but it's fun to do, and obviously terrible if you're trying to fill a portfolio, because you'll just end up with half a piece. So, but yeah, there's no way I was gonna manually copy every single thing that I did on the left side to the right. Maybe another day, but not that day. Then I just went crazy with like practicing my line work. Here's some of my drills. I could have used this page too. Quite wasteful of me. But yeah, then I really wanted to like design a trap stamp. So I would take this and mirror it, all of it, onto the right side, and then this would make like a heart. And obviously it would curve up, which I thought was a pretty cool design. But yeah. I could have definitely like outlined it with a pen and given it more detail, but it was just supposed to be like a quick design and some more practice. And some more practice. And so this page had a different eagle, which I thought wasn't really that terrible looking, so I cut it out and put it in my portfolio for now. But this one I tried making a lot more detailed, so I gave them a lot more feathers. And I think I kind of overdone it. But yeah. More practice. We got spider web. And I saw this really sick artist that would always do like these. So they would do like an outline and then they would leave gaps. And they would like fill them with this really thin pen, and that was kind of my reference here. But I do quite like how it turned out. Then this was like, I saw a video by Draw Like a Sir, and he was like, okay, so draw a house. That was like your first task. And then you're supposed to draw like windows that like have different angles. Sorry for that. So yeah, I made a cute little house. And yeah, this was supposed to be a window, but and as you can tell, I was gonna fill it up with breaks, but yeah, that really didn't last very long. Then we got some more practice cylinders and more lines. More lines. And here I wanted to get more into scrolls or filigree. I think there's another word for it, but I don't know. You'll often see these in engravings too. And yeah, this one's obviously terrible because it's my first piece, but I've been practicing since then. And then we have, I finally got into anatomy, which is really difficult, but there's a lot of things that you can use that'll make it easier. Yeah. Honestly, this one doesn't look that bad. I mean, yeah, the upper body looks pretty decent. It's just like the feet and the head could be a little bit better. But yeah, just mean failing a lot, which is part of the process. And as long as you don't get disencouraged, I mean, you can just get better. And that's what, guess what, like that's what everybody had to go through. So, yeah. Then I tried doing more if you want to see these as full pieces, then I would highly suggest you checking that out. This was another reference, and the original had like really cool detailing, and I kind of just did like the lazy man's detailing where I just like did a bunch of circles, and it doesn't really look that bad, to be honest. I already had that one. Then I was practicing some more freehand and trying to do like these gap fillers, which you'll see a lot more of later on. Just some more practice. Here I thought I would have been like some kind of head of like some kind of boss. I don't know. Kind of looks like antlers, but down or like forward. Here's a forearm design I did. You could do it like here or on the outside. That don't really matter. But this was also taken from a reference. And yeah. Here, I liked the lines in this one because they're not really like, I don't know, they just look organic to me, and I like the eye too. Here I wanted to, I don't really remember. Well, this was supposed to be like an E, and this was, I guess, another letter, but you can't really tell. This sketch I did in one of the videos, I think it was sketching you or something. We got another design, and these towards the back look quite trashy because I thought to myself, well, I don't want to fill up the front side of the sketchbook with trashy sketches because I was still practicing. So I just practice on the back half of it. Yeah, more line practice. Another small motif. And then we got 3 more designs. I really as I said, I would show you my origins. And this is really where it started. So, this is not where it started. This, nope. This is really where it started. And as you can see, it says August 21st. And I was just, I don't know, I just tried to draw what I thought would be cool. Really. That's what all you're seeing here is. Because that also, that's really the only reason why I kept going, is because I thought, well, I see all of these cool artworks, like, I want to do them too, so, yeah, so I got skulls and sword designs. I was trying to practice my curves here. Another design. I really enjoyed, like, wing designs. So I wanted to make, like, a sword with wings. Another symmetrical design. Bird. Doing some bats. August 31st. I tried outlining like some sigilism with the skulls. This one is another like mirror design. Another symmetrical design here. I tried to make a brand of sacrifice, which looks terrible, but it's fine. It's like a star design. Also another reference. And this one you don't have to see. Here's another symmetrical design. And this was supposed to be like a sword. But I don't know what I did at the bottom, so yeah. Here's my probably one of my earliest skull studies. Front view, side view. August 20th, 27th. Yeah, I was gonna do like a logo. Yeah. But never really pushed through. I was gonna do a ribcage design here. I just practice my spikes and curves. And more designs. And last but not least, this one is fairly newer. This page. So we got the Dragon Slayer. I don't know. Some kind of warrior. I was just doing anatomy. Well, no, I think this one started with this mask that I freehanded, and then I was like, this could be a mask. And then I just drew the figure. symmetry, right? Jaguar. Which definitely, I feel like I gotta get one of these. Like a traditional tattoo as well. So yeah. Tried to do like traditional skulls, but I didn't really have different shades of black and gray, so I was using my charcoal pencil. And I mean, it's not the worst. And another one with a little bit more detail. But yeah, that looks to be it. And I guess for the end of this video, I'll just say that I'm really glad. Oh, sorry. I'm really glad that I picked up drawing again. It's something I look forward to every day. And it doesn't really bother me if I'm not good, because I mean, you're only gonna get as good as you put work into something, so really, the worst thing you can do is worry about if you're making progress or what other people are doing, especially in art where online there's like so many people that have been drawing for decades, and all you see is their picture that they probably worked on for a couple of hours, but you don't really see all of the pain and all of the hurdles that they had to go through to make that post. And so it's easy to get discouraged, but I feel like as long as you're treating it as something fun and as an outlet, that'll really build the foundation for you to keep moving forward no matter what kind of challenges you face at any given time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to making more sketchbook doors. We'll see. Hopefully once my portfolio is done and I get a tattoo apprenticeship, I'll show you what kind of portfolio I made. But yeah, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or a pleasant evening. Check out our Instagram and let me know in the comments what you think, if you're gonna start drawing too. And I'll see you very soon, okay? Love ya.